Yo, what is going on, everybody? Stiff, and we are back with some more Madden NFL 17 news, and today I will be going over some of the new catch outcomes and ball physics features that will be present in Madden NFL 17. Now, I know some of you guys read up on some of the stuff, and I'll actually leave the official EA blog in the description, but I actually have played the game down at EA Play, and I can give you guys some better insight on how these new features affect the new game. So let's get into it. Let's first start off with multiplayer catch outcomes. So EA has heard from our hardcore competitive community to further tune down the aggressive catch to not be so overpowered in this year's games, and they have exactly listened by adding the new swap mechanic to help address these concerns. Now, I'll get into my personal experience with the swap mechanic in a little bit, but they have implemented the swap mechanic along with still playing the receiver and also if you want to play the ball. So first complaint that they've been hearing is everyone has been making all these spectacular catches. You can get Brandon Cooks, even though he has high spectacular catch. You have people like, let's say, Deshaun Jackson making one-handed spectacular catches over, 6'3" cornerbacks that don't necessarily, that they shouldn't necessarily be making these catches. Well, EA has heard this feedback, and they're actually only letting these special catching abilities restricted to only top tier receivers. And in their blog they actually put like OBJ, Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, Hopkins, Dez Bryant, those are just to name a few, can make these one-handed spectacular grabs over these cornerbacks that not any other receivers should be able to trigger those animations. Now, I don't know what that's going to mean for Madden Ultimate Team when you get, some of these medium tier wide receivers later on down the year. They have like souped up stats, or, if they make a golden ticket and it's just like a normal receiver that gets a golden ticket. I don't know if those traits or those animations will be able to go further, but according to EA, they will not. They're only triggered to certain top tier receivers, which means in Madden Ultimate Team, those receivers will actually be worth more to get because they can trigger those spectacular catch animations. Next, what they have done is they have significantly improved the animation coverage to both play the receiver and swap feature to ensure that we will get animations that match our intended actions. In Madden 16, sometimes we would play the receiver and we would actually get sucked into an animation where we would actually be looking like we're going for the ball or trying to play the ball, trying to get the animation or trying to get the interception. In reality, we were trying to play the receiver and just knock the ball out of his hands. This year, we will actually be able to not get suctioned into these type of animations, and when we play the receiver, we're actually playing the receiver. So we're not going to be going up and trying to get the ball, going for the interception. If you're playing the receiver, you're actually going to be tackling the receiver, trying to jar the ball loose. And the same goes for the swap feature. And if you are trying to play the ball, then you're going to try and go up and get the interception. And the last thing that they tried doing, that they worked on, that they heard, is that when special receivers go up for the spectacular catch, they're leaving their bodies wide open and susceptible for major hits and damage to control them. In Madden 16, a lot of the receivers were getting injured while going up for these spectacular catches. Now, this year in Madden NFL 17, if you go up for a spectacular catch and you get smacked going up for that catch, you might get injured in the process, which is definitely another feature added that you're going to have to put into your game plan if you want to start going up for spectacular catches every rip. If you're seeing one-on-one coverage, you're definitely going to risk a big hit or even injury if you're going up a cornerback that has a lot of hit power. And that's going to definitely trigger a risk-reward situation. So now let's actually get into my experience with the new features. My experience, and if you guys have been watching other videos, I know I may have posted videos about the SWAT feature. It definitely works. The SWAT feature is definitely a cry to all of us that it is there and it's been implemented correctly so that you know, if you want to go for the swat and you don't want to go for the interception, you will swat the ball. You'll get an animation to swat the ball in the air, or basically swat the ball down. My experience with the swat button was when you're swatting balls, you're swatting them down, you know, kind of like in the air, but you're not really swatting them in the direction of other cornerbacks, in which sometimes you are, sometimes you really aren't. So really, if you want to try and get that animation where you pop the ball up, I would actually play the receiver. Playing the receiver, I got more animations where I would take the ball, I would hit my receiver, and I would put the ball up in the air so my other defenders can actually make a play on the ball. I'm not saying that you don't get that for the SWAT animation. You actually do get that with the SWAT animation. It's just more of you're swatting the ball down with with the SWAT technique, more so than when you're playing the receiver. You actually tackling the receiver and you're trying to get the ball up in the air to your defenders. Both of them work very well. The SWAT button definitely worked better at jarring the ball loose than playing the receiver, in my opinion. I didn't really get a lot of time to play with it, but that is, in my opinion, what's happened. And also, you also have to take into effect that it's not going to work 100% of the time. The SWAT button is in place to help people, you know, with the aggressive catch, to counter the aggressive catch, but it's also there so people who do try aggressive catch with high-tier athletes or high-tier players, they will come down with it. It's not 100% you hit the SWAT button and then it's done. It will be an incomplete pass. That wouldn't be fair for the offense as well. So also keep that in mind if you have a crappy corner, or if you have a mid-tier corner going up against, I want to say OBJ. OBJ could come down with it rather more times than the defender blocking it with the SWAT technique. So that's something to keep in the back of your mind. I think the balance is perfect right now from what I've tested out, and you guys will definitely be satisfied. So now let's actually get into the next part of this video, the ball physics. Ball physics is a whole completely brand new rebuilt thing that they are bringing to Madden NFL 17, and it's actually awesome. So the integration of physics in Madden has been extended multi-year process. One of the biggest outliers with the ball was running what we refer to as the legacy physics from the Generation 3 era. With Madden NFL 17, the ball has been fully integrated into our Ignite physics engine, and the results are game-changing. The feature will have significant impact on several major systems throughout the game, and they just break it down in the blog that you guys can read. So organic knockouts and tip balls, just like I was referring to with playing the ball, or playing the receiver, and then the SWAT button. This is where ball physics also comes in, where you get generic ball placements when you're knocking the ball out of the receiver's hands, or if you're just simply going up for the interception. There's going to be a lot more tip balls and actually organic animations that you get. Maybe the receiver comes down with the ball, but last second the defender will rip it away from him for the incomplete pass. That's definitely something that I saw while playing over at EA Play. The wide receiver will no longer be able to pull the ball through defenders now, so that's quite game changer. If you saw some of that in Madden NFL 16, that definitely has changed. SWAT button, like I said, will be broken up or swatted down. The path of the ball takes purely momentum and physics based, so that's very good, and I love how they've definitely adapted to that. They've also added several sliding, diving, and below the knee type catches to cover different scenarios that may occur. Now that's when the ball is played in the air. They also have some things called loose ball recovery and throw out of a sack. So the loose ball recovery, so fumble recoveries in Madden have been one of the mainly long-standing legacy issues that desperately needed attention. They've introduced the new ball physics and organic behaviors, where they completely revisited their loose ball and tip ball recovery logic. This includes a new set of new animations for loose ball recoveries and cover both in and on ground scenarios. Players are smarter and they react to loose balls faster. Now, when I was playing at EA Play, I didn't really have a lot of loose balls, fumbles, with where my linemen had to get to the ball, but I can tell you definitely they just don't look over the ball while it's a fumble. They will try and get and pick it up. Now, whether or not they come down with picking it up or not, that's more or less to say when you guys play the ball, when you guys play the game. I haven't really tested that out when I was down there. The last feature I want to do is throw out of the sack. This is a huge feature coming to Madden NFL 17. Now, if you guys played Madden 16, you guys noticed that if you sack the quarterback, sometimes last second, they'll get the ball off, which look like intentional grounding, and will become an incomplete pass. All this stuff where they'll get the ball out last second, right when they're throwing the ball, it won't be considered a fumble. This whole thing has been revamped. A lot more fumbles will happen. It will make players pay for trying to make later reads and trying to get the ball out late. Maybe try and throw the ball late. If you're getting hit right when you're releasing the ball, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens with the ball. It could definitely be a fumble. A lot more fumbles were happening when playing Madden NFL 17 when this happened, rather than Madden NFL 16 where most of the time would actually be an incomplete pass, which didn't really make a lot of sense. It almost looked like the tuck rule was being into effect. But in reality, next year in Madden NFL 17, a lot more fumbles will definitely happen. And anyway, guys, this is the next episode for my Madden NFL 17 news. We went over ball physics, and we went over the catch outcomes in Madden NFL 17. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at Madden Daily. My personal account at Stiffy122. If you guys want some more of this, make sure you guys smash that like button. I will see you guys in the next video. Adio.